Hello everyone, welcome to the Smile Story. Story by T. Robinson. Two women worked at the local cafe. One was always grumpy and never smiled at anyone. All her customers came out of the shop feeling bad tempered and made grumpy faces all the way home. In fact, she was known around town as the grumpy lady. The other woman in the cafe was always happy and smiled at everyone. All her customers came out smiling and soon passed their smiles on to other people. Of course, she was known as the happy lady. Every day, the happy lady gave out hundreds of smiles, and this is the story of just one of them. At 7 a.m. in the morning, the happy lady smiled at her first customer, the road sweeper, on his way to clean the streets. The road sweeper was in bad mood because he had to get up so very early. But as the smile passed to him, he began to feel brighter. He started to sweep at super speed to make the street clean and sparkling for everyone. At 8 a.m., the road sweeper smiled at a delivery driver as he raced by with all his parcels. The delivery driver was feeling cross because there was so much traffic. But as the smile passed to him, he relaxed. He turned up his music, he liked singing along, and so he did very loudly. At 9:25 a.m., the delivery driver smiled at a journalist who was cycling to her office. The journalist was miserable, thinking of all the bad news she had to write about. But as the smile passed to her, she felt inspired. She had a great idea. She would find some good news that would cheer everybody up and write about that instead. At 10:45 a.m., the journalist smiled at a taxi driver she saw at the traffic lights. The taxi driver was down in the dumps as all of today's customers had been grumpy, but as the smile passed to him, he cheered up. He thought about all the wonderful passengers he had met, including a famous football player who had given him a signed t-shirt. The taxi driver loved this t-shirt so much that he wore it every day. At 11:30 a.m., the taxi driver smiled at his next customer, a woman in a red dress. The woman in the red dress was feeling nervous. She was going to have a tooth taken out. But as the smile passed to her, she began to calm down. The taxi driver made her laugh with his funny stories and she forgot all about her nerves. At 12 p.m., the woman in the red dress smiled at the dentist. The dentist was feeling stressed as he had so much to do today. But as the smile passed to him, he took a deep breath and grinned. He felt sure he would get everything done in the day. At 1:15 p.m., in his lunch break, the dentist smiled at an old lady walking to the park. The old lady was feeling a little bit lonely, but as the smile passed to her, she began to feel much happier. She bent down and made a big fuss of her little dog, Buster. She told him he was the best dog in the world, and he began to smile too. At 2:30 p.m., the old lady smiled at the women out in the park with her twins. The woman with the twins was fretting that her children were making too much noise. But as the smile passed to her, she realized that they were happy squeals. So she bent down and joined in with the giggles of the twins. In fact, she was the noisiest one of all. At 3:15 p.m., the woman with twins smiled at a lollipop lady. The lollipop lady was feeling glum as her legs were aching. But as the smile passed to her, she felt very lucky. She met so many friendly families. She spotted some children waving at her and waving back. She went to help them to cross the road, and do you know what? She forgot all about her aching legs. At 4:45 p.m., the lollipop lady smiled at a school teacher. The school teacher was feeling sad because of his student was in hospital. But as the smile passed to him, he knew what to do. He remembered that the little boy loved storybooks. So he picked up one with very funny pictures that would make the boy laugh. At 5:30 p.m., the school teacher smiled at the little boy in the hospital. The little boy was feeling fed up because he missed his friends, but as the smile passed to him, he began to feel much jollier. He enjoyed looking at the pictures in the new book, and when his teacher read the story to him, he felt even better. At 6 p.m., the little boy smiled at the nurse on the children's ward. The nurse was feeling very tired after a long day, but as the smile passed to her, it gave her a boost. She decided to chat with the children on the ward before she went home. At 7 p.m., the nurse walked by the local cafe just as the two ladies were closing their shop. She smiled at the happy lady. The happy lady was pleased to get the smile back and, of course, immediately gave the nurse a new smile in return. At 7:01 p.m., the nurse was about to walk on when she noticed how very unhappy the grump lady looked. The nurse decided that even though it wasn't easy, she would pass the smile to that grumpy lady. At 7:02 p.m., the grumpy lady was feeling grumpy as normal, but as the smile passed to her, she felt something unusual happening. Her face began to change, her cheeks twitched, her mouth moved, and her lips began to curl upwards. Slowly, ever so slowly, and she smiled back. Every day, the happy lady begins hundreds of smile stories. See if you can start one today. Your smile will visit lots of people, and maybe it will come all the way back to you. Thank you. Stay tuned to my channel Panache Life Geo Khulke. If you have not subscribed, do subscribe and share and like as much as you can. Thank you.